Yes, three wellness, the opportunity, and we got a webinar blitz. We're going to be doing some webinars that we started back last February and March, and we're just going to be renewing these going into our 1 year launch of three wellness for February 20th. So a lot exciting times. You can learn about from Kim Hui and Holly and Corbin Roush. They're doing the first webinar. So exciting times here. You can connect with me, Ed Drost. We're doing some great things here at 3, having a lot of fun, having a lot of great things happening. Go to temovement.com, connect with me, Ed Drost. Love to show you the opportunity. Click the link below. So as always, look forward to connecting. And here we go. We're starting our webinar.
Well, hello, 3 family. How is everybody on this Tuesday evening?
Man, what a great couple of weeks we've had. What a wonderful day we've had. It's been so busy, so much excitement in the air. Hopefully everyone out there is experiencing it. My name's Corbin Roush. This is Holly Roush. For those of you that knew, I know we've been sending out a lot of this meeting tonight or this Zoom tonight to a lot of guests. So we want to introduce ourselves and also be able to introduce our special guest tonight.
So we're tuning in from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I don't know where in the world each of y'all are tuning in from, but how great is it to be a part of 3, a brand new company that's a global company around the world. And we're just getting started. We're just 2 weeks into this, launched on February 20th. And Corbin and I just have the pleasure of bringing somebody on, and I'm going to make sure that she gets her camera on. We're going to make sure she's unmuted. I think most of you guys know who this is because we have, we said a mystery guest, but we weren't so mystery. And so Kim, you're able to unmute and undo your camera on your own because I made you a co-host.
Yes, we're going to introduce Kim Hui here, Holly and Corbin. And Kim, I've been very fortunate to meet Kim up in New Jersey, and I've met Holly and Corbin, exciting times down in Salt Lake City, Anaheim, and also in New Jersey. But Kim is a visionary in the network marketing space. She's a legend. She's an exceptional lady. And when you're in the room with her, you really understand the power of her vision and where we're going and why we're building a global movement with 3 wellness, 3 proactive wellness. So I hope through this webinar, you understand the opportunity that stands before you. And I found this last February kind of through some synchronicity. I was looking for something. I need to make some changes health-wise in my life. And over the course of this year, not even quite a year yet, some profound things happened for me in my life with the 3 wellness business, with my health, and just exciting times. So I'm going to get back to Corbin and Holly, and we're going to introduce Kim Hui. Nope. Come on now.
What's really fun about this is most of you haven't even seen Kim's face yet. You've seen her on videos out there, maybe a few presentations here or there, but things are happening fast and furious in the world of 3. And I can tell you a lot is due to this woman that we get to talk to tonight. She's been doing so much behind the scenes for months at end, probably putting in, she can tell you, 18 to 20-hour days, maybe more than that, maybe many, many sleepless nights, if any sleep at all having a son, I know, still at home. But she's doing it because she's passionate about it. So do you have anything to add?
Well, yeah, we got to meet Kim. It seems like just yesterday, but it's already been a little over a month that we got to meet you. We flew out and met her in Sedona, and I could just feel an energy about her that drew me in, drew Holly in, where we just wanted to be a part of her vision and her dream and where she was going to go. You know, very few people can cast a vision where people want to be a part of it. where they're just like, wow, okay, I can see myself in that vision. And that's how it was the very first time we met Kim. We just got excited about the future, and we just wanted to be a part of it. We wanted to know where we were going, how fast it could happen. How could we put it in fast forward? Her and Holly hit it off like, two long lost sisters. And it was a blessing for me personally as a husband that loves my wife to have someone that can mentor my wife. We've been in the business for 18 years and she's never had a female mentor. Right. She's never, we've both, neither one really had a mentoring upline that was close to us. We kind of just ran and did things. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you this, it has been beyond amazing to have someone that we can go to and just talk. And the way she's poured into Holly, just by her attitude, her positive vibes that she sends out, just puts a smile on both our faces.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. When we got to sit down and meet with Kim, you'd think, many of you with our former community and joining us today, this would be something that we'd be nervous about. Can it happen? How quick are we going to be able to pivot and shift and do this? And will people join us? Yeah. And I have to tell you, only God can make this miraculous thing that happen, because it happened so fast. We literally made a pivot and shift, all of us watching here, in just less than a week's period of time, and did it with such an awesome attitude. And that really only happens from the top down. It's really only possible from the top down. So I want to thank everybody that joined us tonight. I especially want everyone, you can put your hands together for Kim Wee. She's got years of experience. She's going to share that. Definitely, for sure, one of the top income earners in the industry, an absolute powerhouse. I think the thing that makes me the most in awe is knowing that she doesn't have to do this. Yeah. She didn't have to come out of retirement. She doesn't have to be on this Zoom with us tonight. She doesn't have to be launching 3. But I can't wait, just like y'all can't wait. So y'all are like, can y'all stop for a minute and let's turn it over? So everyone, I want you to cheer on Kim Wee, all the way from LA. She's tuning in, has homes in Sedona as well. And Kim, I just love for you to share with everyone just a little bit about you and your story and how you found network marketing.
Sure. Well, Holly and Corbin, thank you for having me here today to meet your group and meet your team. I think seeing how you guys pivoted in circumstances that came our way, just like the society last couple of years, and seeing how you pivoted is speaks volume of who you both are in your leadership and in your ability to lead, as well as, more importantly, to serve the team. And so I'm very grateful, blessed to have you on the team on board with us on this incredible 3 platform. And 3, as a matter of fact, it's kind of interesting now. I see in social media and people are doing like this now. 3, right? 3. So anyway, I'm excited to meet your team here today and to share a little bit about myself, and we'll take it from there. And so basically, I got involved in the direct selling industry 30 years ago. I was 28 when I got involved in this industry, and so and I was an accountant. I went to school, I graduated from college, and as an accountant, I actually worked for one of the Fortune 500 companies, an aerospace company here in LA area. And so actually in Century City. And so I was an accountant, senior accountant, managing huge project. Long story short, I knew that there was a glass ceiling. I wasn't getting any higher. So then I looked for another company. Then I moved on and worked for this company as a VP of operations. And so just when I thought that I was on the height of my corporate career, one day I was fired. I was laid off. So I was downsized, and I didn't know what I was going to do. All I knew was every day I would send out resumes. I would go to Starbucks coffee because I didn't know how to tell my parents that I got laid off. So this is many, many years ago in the old paradigm, how we're looking for jobs. And so I was sending out resumes and I couldn't find a job. Long story short, a friend of mine says, you know what, Kim, I'm going to help you. I have a friend who's very successful, who's looking for talent just like you. And so I was really excited, and I got all decked out in a suit, and I drove to Irvine, which is in Orange County in LA area. And so I thought I was going for an interview. So when I pull up to the building and I entered the building, there was like a couple of 100 people there, right? So I go, oh my gosh, I got competition. And so anyway, but I got into a room full of people and I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know what MLM was. I thought it was NMM, like only melt in your mouth and not in your hand. And so anyway, and I saw two things captivated me at that meeting. I was sitting very back at the door because I realized, I thought if I hang by that door and I didn't like it, I could sneak out, right? So what I saw was two things. One, I saw average people were achieving amazing things in life. I mean, I saw average people were achieving unaverage results, if that's a word. So, and the second thing I saw glimpse of when people were leaving, when the meeting was finished, I saw a glimpse of hope in people's eyes. And so I remember I show up and work in corporate America for 10 years back then, and never ever had I shown up to work and people would clap for me, right? And so that was the first draw that drew me into the industry. Now, and now fast forward that has been 30 long years. So to answer your question, that is kind of how I got involved in the industry. I thought I was in for an interview. And so that's how I got involved in the industry 30 years ago.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. And one thing that, talking with Samson, your business partner, the other night, I think left me kind of in awe. And you probably don't even know the story I'm going to share, but you could just tell us what it's like, because some people don't realize the hours that you put in to get to the level that you're at. And he talked about you raising your son and getting on airplanes, and sometimes getting on airplanes at 4 a.m. to go overseas, leaving your 6-year-old son behind. And how, as a mom, that's hard. We want to be there to raise them, but yet you felt this calling to lead and serve others. And so tell us a little bit about the sacrifices, the time that you put in, and the reason behind that.
Yeah, actually at that time, my son was, it was 2000, when I started Worldly Travels, that was in 2000 and actually a little bit before 2009. So my son was born, so my son was like 5-6 years old. So I remember, it was tough. My husband's a physician. He has a medical practice here in the LA area. And so most of his friends understand, like they think his wife is crazy, like have a comfortable life. And why is she so crazy, traveling the world and wanting to build something. So if you talk to my husband one of these days, he would tell you, one of my dreams is, many years ago, was for myself to become a multimillionaire. And so that was always my childhood dream of coming to America. I wanted to be a millionaire. And the second dream I had was I wanted to help a lot of people to become millionaires. When you meet my husband, he would tell that story. And so my husband says, you know what, for you to become a millionaire possible, but to help a lot of people to become millionaire, there's a little bit of because it's not up to within your control. And I'm not trying to control anything. I'm trying to influence. So anyway, long story short, when I got involved in the business, my son, in the previous platform, my son was 6 years old. And I remember there were times that my son would grab onto my leg, hold on my leg. And usually when you fly, like especially go to Asia, we would fly, red eye flight, midnight flight, you get there in the morning. So I remember many trips. My son would grab onto my leg and says, Mama, don't go. It's hard, your son, now looking back and you realize that, at such a young age, he couldn't control mom and couldn't tell mom not to go because mom had to leave. And so unbeknownst to him, I would leave the door and I'll be bawling. And my whole way, Samson at that time was driving me to the airport. And he would see that I'm trying to keep myself and stop from crying, but I just couldn't help it. And I would bawl all the way to my airport, checked in on the airplane, and I would cry myself to sleep. And the reason for that was because there's a sense of responsibility. You go out there and you cast a vision of what you wanted to build. You wanted to help change other people's lives. You want to help create other millionaires. And so, and when you cast that kind of vision, there's also that responsibility on your shoulder. And so, I chose to do that, and I was very blessed. My husband's very supportive of me doing that, and so, and that's what I did. I would go sometimes, 5 countries in 4 days. I would be home, and I'll be home. I'll be working. And then I will, and then 3 weeks later, I would go again. I did that month after month after month consecutively for at least 6 years. And so obviously my son grew up in this space. There's two schools of thought. You guys have kids, so you kind of know this. And there's 2 schools of thoughts. One school of thought said, you kind of were off balance a little bit. Yes, I was off balance a little bit. But, sometimes in life, we have to be off balance a little bit to gain balance for the rest of our life. And so I'm very blessed to be able to provide for my son, any school he wants to go to, things that, able to help broaden his horizon about this world with his worldly travels. So yes, there were sacrifices, but at the same time, the reward were abundant. Even though I was gone maybe I try to make my trip within 7 days when I travel so I can be home with my son. But the rest of the time, I'm home 100% with my son, with whatever events it's got going, the ability to, the way I look at it is the ability to love. And so different schools of thought, some people say you got to be home all the time with your kid. But I also, from another perspective, I also set an example for my child, for my son. And so it was hard as a mom, and I'm sure you guys know that. And, there are times I would call and FaceTime my son. He goes, Mama, if you love me, you'll be home. Don't FaceTime me. So I know. And he's upstairs right now. He's 19 years old, doing film, and very talented, very gifted. And so, yeah. And I explained to him why mom has to work and why mom is doing what mom is doing. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. And I'm
long
sure
answer, but yeah.
I'm sure looking back, I'm sure he's so proud to watch what you've done because you set that vision and goal and you stuck to it. It'd be so easy. It would be so easy to say no. It'd be so easy to back out and stay home and let other people take care of it. But when you put that out there, the responsibility, but then it's sharing with your son. And when your son sees that work ethic and he sees that dream and vision, I have to imagine that's exactly what he's doing and walking out in his life today as a result.
Absolutely. Like my son is doing films right now. And, when you enter college apps and all the stuff, I read some of his stories and some of the thesis. I knew that all those sacrifices were worth it because he would talk about mom's work ethics. He would talk about, it's just very touching. And sometimes, they don't express it to you. And I get to read his college app and I go, oh my God, thank you, son.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we always say. Kids are watching, and kids are watching parents set goals. They're seeing them work together. They're seeing them make sacrifices. And, you're a testament to, you just don't get in and you become a millionaire. You got to put in the work. You got to be willing to go out there and have a little imbalance. You got to be willing to make a sacrifice. We used to always say, you're going to have to give up a little to potentially get a lot. Mm-hmm. But the up of this business is so fantastic. So kind of leads me to the next question. This one to me.
She's on the hot seat.
Yeah, you're on the hot seat.
Okay, I'm ready.
You quite honestly, financially, you didn't have to do this, but there's more than just financially. I understand that. There's a drive, there's a passion, there's the calling to be able to help other people and watch other people rise up. The money sometimes, you get in for the money, but that kind of becomes secondary once you start growing in this business and raising people up and seeing their dreams come true. But with that aside, you could have gone to any company out there. You could have gone to a 20-year-old company, a 10-year-old company, a 1-month-old company, and had massive success, because success leaves clues, and the biggest clues you've left is you're going to have success wherever you go. So what made you want to launch 3? Be a brand new startup company? What's going on in there that you're like, I'm willing to be a part of a startup and have startup issues, startup problems, but why?
Well, that's a great question. It's a loaded question. We could probably talk for hours, but I'll try to streamline it. Okay. After being in this, okay. So I guess in the previous platform, we're blessed to create, a couple of hundred millionaires, multi-millionaires. So, so I kind of when you watch people, when you have done something and you help a lot of people to become successful, obviously in that journey, individually as a human being, I also got my own personal growth in that journey of walking through building a $10 billion company together collectively with a team of people. And so with that, you actually get to see a lot of things that we ordinarily wouldn't get to see. And so after a little while, I go, you know what? And after all that travel, I just mentioned before, the first 6 years is every month on the road. When I say on the road, it's in the air, actually. Mm-hmm. And so after so many years, you kind of get to a point where, I need to scale back. I was in a space in my life, I was questioning really the meaning of success. Like, am I doing the right thing? You know, I've seen money have done a lot of good to people. I've also seen money have done a little bit of not too good to people's lives. And so I question that meaning. Like, is it really about money? Is it really about helping people to create money? Is there something more to it than money? Is there more to it than financial freedom? And I further question myself on what I am saying and what I'm sharing. Does money truly make somebody happy in life? And so that's when about 2007, I would say 2007, 2008, I kind of began to step back as I observe and monitor things that make me question the value and the virtue and where the direction where I was heading in life. And so it was at that time I kind of step out of the industry. I only showed up once in a year, maybe once every 6 months or whatnot, because I was searching for that meaning. I was searching for my purpose. Is it only about speaking and helping people to achieve financial freedom? And so it was in that search that took me to Sedona, that we met, that you guys went to my home in Sedona. And so I was, I was in my cocoon. I was in my own sanctuary where I was grounded in that space, in that beautiful land and beautiful energy. So I was searching, I was seeking. You know, oftentimes when you seek, you expect to have answer right away. I'm like, hey, when is my next purpose? What am I here to do? And it didn't happen. It didn't come to me until what I witnessed the last 3 years. We all did. As a matter of fact, in the last 3 years, humanity, all of us have seen things that completely rattled and reshaped the paradigm that we were taught all these years. And so it was at that time I said, I got a call. It was the time I said, I further questioned, why are we here on earth? What are we here to do? I mean, okay, fine, it's money. Now you get the money issue out of the way. What's next? What am I gifting? What can I do of contribution to humanity? And it was at that time that I felt called. It's, you know, sometimes, you know, this is not a work. When I say this is not a work of only a few months, this been a project that's been incubating within my heart for the last couple of years. It was in search of that meaning, of that purpose, of what I'm called to do on earth. And so the calling was, Kim, it is time. I mean, I saw what happened during this pandemic, the last couple of years. And I think it's even more so time for humanity to rise up.
That's right.
That 58 years old, never, ever have I heard the narrative that all these crazy stuff that's happening. I said, this is, you know, when you look at it, is it sad? Yeah, it's kind of sad. But at the same time, certain things have to happen to awaken humanity. So it was at that time the calling says, you know what, it's time to come out, use your gifting to do a project that will bring hope to humanity, that will bring hope and contribution to humanity. It's time that all of us, humanity, to rise up. There's hope, there's change. In order for us to change something, that we collectively have to work together to create that change, to be that change. And that's why I was called to create a global movement, if you would. And so I remember when we started, and that film, when that 2-minute video was made, that was released on Christmas Eve. Okay, and so that message was really about rising up, that all of us to do something in a time that we're living in right now. And so the calling and the messaging was, we need to come together in this global movement, because what's happening last couple of years is not only impacting United States of America, it's impacting the world. And so, and I knew my gifting was not to run a company. Many people, some of my leaders say, Kim, you know, you need to own your own company and we'll follow you. I said, I know my gift. My gift is not to be a CEO. My gift is not to run a company. My gift is to share through my experiences. You know, and some of the things, and obviously the last 30 years, what I've witnessed in this industry is I've witnessed a lot of beautiful stuff. You know, this industry, like you guys, perhaps you guys all agreed that when in this industry, when it's done right, it's beautiful. Right. And so, But at the same time, I saw the other side of it. And so part of that calling of creating a global community of bringing hope, bringing connection to humanity, is that I want to do something different. I wanted to, there are certain things that's very important to me. In this industry, I've seen, deal after deal. There's so many things that go on that the message to me, that calling that I felt like it's about time, not only to rise about humanity, but also we need to shift and change this industry that I love a lot. But at the same time, there are things in the industry we need to be the shift. We need to be the change. We need to be the beacon of light. So it's a pretty lofty goal, right? I mean, it's a pretty big goal. So I was in Sedona and I got this calling, and I said, okay, where do I begin? If we were to, I know my gifts. I know my giftings are. It's certainly not running a company. That's not my forte. Managing a company, no. So we said, well, if we want to do something, we got to find someone who's from this space, have a little experience, but I do not want someone that are so stuck in the old way. If let's say you find someone that's got 30, 50 years, so obviously they might be very stuck in the old way, and I don't want the old way. So having said that, and that's why we have Daniel, and in that search that led us to Daniel and it led us to you guys. And so why? That why is a global movement, that cause. Obviously I'm very blessed, with the money that I was blessed to make. I only have one child. So money-wise, I'm done, okay? But I want to do something. I want to do something, but obviously in the times that we're living in, many people are looking for ways to make money, to put food on the table. So I wanted to, through a business platform, not only help people make a difference in the wellness of the physical body, mental body, and the spiritual body. And so through this global community that collectively we can all share and grow and expand together as a human collective. And so long answer, but I hope I answered your question.
I love it. Okay, so a couple things on that. One, I'm sure people wonder, how many millionaires have you created in this space so far?
I think a couple of hundred.
I
didn't create them. See, this is the thing. It's when somebody, it's important us as leaders is that it's not up to us to create. It's us, whoever that might be, they have to work for it. But through us collectively, that I would say collectively, we had created a couple of hundred. I never went to count, but Samson would tell you, if I did share this opportunity with Samson many years ago, Samson might have been multiple 8-digit wallet thinner if he didn't do the business. So we've been very blessed. And I think not only in one market, Holly Corbin, we were able to make an impact around the globe. 140 countries, I think, over 100 countries and territories. So that's pretty remarkable.
Well, that's a perfect transition to my next fun question. It's where has been your most favorite place to travel? As everyone's starting to build this global business.
Bucket listing.
Where's your fun place? Where's your other than the United States, other than Sedona?
Okay, other than Sedona. Well, I gotta say this, okay? Now, I love Sedona because I couldn't fly. The last couple of years we couldn't fly because of whatever narrative that I was not a part of and I don't want to be a part of. So I couldn't fly. So I couldn't travel internationally. So the only place I could go is locally. So I could drive, right? So I couldn't fly, then I drive. So I drove to Sedona. I found a place that I really love, and that was Sedona. But as far as a worldly travel, there are many, many great places that just a great place to rest my soul. One of my favorite spots is Bali, Indonesia. Bali is absolutely, I just love, in Bali, it's like, I know Julia Roberts did a movie, right? Eat, Love, Pray, that movie, right? But I can tell you, Bali it's a place where, to me, time stands still. There's a sense of stillness in Bali. So Bali, I love it. India, love it. And as a matter of fact, before this pandemic happened, I had my whole bucket list planned. I was going to Machu Picchu. I was going to go to all these different places. Hey, lined up. But we had to cancel. But anyway, I think we're going to begin again. So anyway, to answer your question, I have many favorite places. I love to go into places like, I'm a foodie, so I love to go eat hole in the wall places. I like to dine in a million-year-old cave with fine dining, fine wine. But I can also dine in a hole in the wall. So many great places. By the way, I'm gonna travel again now. Now the world's beginning to kind of open up.
Mhm.
I am leaving on Sunday. I'm doing Asia tour. I'm
Nice.
gonna be in Hong Kong. I'm gonna be in Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and possibly Taiwan. So that's this coming Sunday. I'm leaving.
I love that. Well, and I'm sure that all of us watching are going to be able to get a chance to see Kim and see some of these events. I know we'll be launching or announcing a national convention this summer, and hopefully those details will be out soon. And Kim, I know people are sitting here and they're like, oh my gosh, over 200 millionaires. Can I be one of them? And I'm going to tell you,
Pick me,
yes,
pick me.
because there was a day that Kim was just entering the industry.
What the heck?
Just after watching other people do it, if they can do it, so can we. So the answer is yes. All of you watching, every one of you going to have this opportunity. And Kim, to close us out today, I think everyone probably sitting back at home going, okay, what's your vision for 3? Where do you see this company going? Give us the big picture of what all of these people watching tonight can expect.
And a part 2 on this, how can somebody that's never, ever built before, the family next door, the mom in the carpool lane, the dad that's working 2 jobs, how can they be a part of this vision, and how can they dream to go the places that you've been able to do?
Perfect. Let's talk about that second part. I'm getting goosebumps. Let's talk about the second part. The moms next door, whoever they are, how they can do that. You found the right platform at the right time. You got it right here with 3. How is first step is you need to open up your heart to see what's possible for you.
It's good.
I came to America when I was 14 years old. My parents didn't have anything. They have $2,000 in their pockets with 4 girls to feed. We were living in a 1-bedroom apartment. All four girls were sleeping on the floor for months. All of us were eating, you know, how back in the 44 years ago I came to America. We were eating, you know, a Safeway. They had this frozen beef, that tube. That was our 30-day meal. You know, with rice, you know, that we cut a little bit and we cook, and that was our meal for 1 month. A family of 6 with, you know, 4 kids, $2,000, no $2,000 in the pocket, no job in sight, 4 children. And one of my goals was to retire my parents. One of my goals was to buy my parents a big home, to take my parents travel the world. And I was like, I able to accomplish a lot of that. And so how and all that is beginning with a dream. What's in your heart? What's in your dream? Don't think about how yet. Don't think about how yet. Just think about activate what's within you. Activate what's within your dream. We all had it. You know, when we were a little kid, you know, before we even enter this school system that we get programmed and trained, before all that, you had a dream. Be that little girl, the little boy again. It's time to tap into that and say, because no matter how great a platform, no matter how great the people around you, if we don't open our heart and open our mind to what's possible, we just waste the opportunity. So I'm blessed to live in this big, huge home. But think about this. Only 40 some more years ago, we were in this tiny home, 6 people. And so if I could do it, so can you. I have gone through times where we had no money. We didn't even know how we was going to put the next meal on the table. So if we could do it, so can you. And so I think today I did a training for 3 hours in LA and talk about a similar topic. And I think one of the key things I want to share was this, and that was the key, one of the key topic in the training this morning in LA was about, people ask, how you think about this? And this is a very good question. You think about this, the same platform. We have people making from zero. We have people making a lot of money. Same platform, same company, same compensation plan. And you wonder why. Just like university, people go to study same major in the same major, but when they graduate, it's kind of different outcome. Mm-hmm. And so I will share this with you, and then we'll answer the other part of the question. Is this: many years ago, when I was in college working a part-time job, one of my part-time jobs, I was a hostess at a restaurant, you know, like, how many for dinner too this week? You know, so I was a hostess, right? So I remember my boss would say, you know, Kim, The world is full of abundance. It's all out there. It's all around you. I'm like, really? He goes, you just have to be willing to reach out and grab it. I'm like, then why am I working so hard right here in this restaurant? I'm working 2 jobs, going to college. And he says, Kim, it's right there. Now, at that time, I couldn't understand what he was saying. And so today, the topic to the team is that the abundance is all around us. In order for us to grab that, to achieve that, we have to, the abundance that we're all energy beings. It's all about, and so we have to increase our own vibration, our own frequency, increase that vibration to match that abundance to be able to reach it. Because how do you increase your vibration? It's the thought that we think about. Every day, what do you think about? We got millions of thoughts going. I mean, not millions. I mean, you can Google scientifically how many thoughts we go through a day. It will tell you, I don't know, 1,000, 100,000, whatever thoughts that we go through. And usually 90% of those thoughts are the same thought we thought of yesterday. So if we want to change our life, we need to change our thoughts. Because when you change your thought, that would change the way you feel. Change the way you feel, change your perception. When you change your perception, that will lead to different action that you did yesterday. So increase your vibration. You're able to manifest all that abundance, manifest that into your own reality. So that's a whole different topic for another day. But how do they change? First is open up their heart. It's not here. Because when you tap into your head will say, well, what makes you think you can be successful? Look at how broke you are. Look at da-di-da-di-da. Look at that. Remove all that for a second. It doesn't cost, trust me, guys, it won't cost you a penny. Just follow me for a second. Remove whatever thought, whatever paradigm, whatever conditioning you were taught, or you were told that was not possible. Remove that. Okay. Now, for 1 second, enter that space and ask yourself, what is it you really want in life? What is something that when there's no parameter, no walls, no limits set on you, what can you achieve? And that is a loaded question, but it's all possible. Mm-hmm. I was so broke. 30 years ago, I put my last $20 in a gas tank, driving to San Francisco, trying to recruit somebody, trying to talk to somebody. And then they signed up. Guess what? On my way back, on my half tank of gas, on my way back from San Francisco, they called and they said, you know what? I changed my mind. I tell you, all I could do at that time was I plug in Les Brown's audio tape. You know, back then we have, audio tapes, like cassette tapes, right? And Les Brown's, you're going to be hungry. And I'm like, I was screaming on top of my lung. I said, Les, I am famished. I am hungry. And I didn't let that affect me. I didn't know how I was going to get my next $20 to put gas in my tank, but it didn't stop me. Because you need to remove those self-imposing blocks or those seemingly your circumstantial situation. In order for us to change our life, we have to change our thoughts. Because when you are thinking happy thoughts, you are happy. Happy thoughts and sadness cannot coexist. You got to change every day in life. If you were to think about this, there's two forces within us. One force is poverty. One force is abundance. Do you know which force will win in your life? It depends which force you feed. Would you feed the force of abundance, thoughts, give it sunshine, give it love, give it lots of good juju? I am going to be abundant in life. But when you think those thoughts, in the beginning, maybe a little, because your logical mind will enter and go, well, I don't think, someone go, shut. And then you look, you can borrow Holly and Corbin's energy. You can borrow their belief. Sometimes when you don't have belief in yourself, borrow the people you're working with. They will not charge you interest. Okay. So not for a while. Okay. So you borrow other people's belief in you. I see everyone. The reason I'm doing this, because I see the possibilities for everybody. That's why I was telling you guys and telling some friends, if this project is for money, no amount of money is worth what I'm doing. There's a cause. There's something bigger. There's a force. There's a force greater than all of us combined, putting all this together. I'm just being used as a conduit. And when the calling came, I obey and I go to work. So anyway, I hope I answered your question.
You did. Kim, thank you so much. And I think everyone watching here can see why when we sat down with you, we were at.
Oh,
People could have panicked, but when we sat down with you, there was a calmness, there was a confidence, your passion, your vision, the calmness and the confidence in the way that you share that. We knew we were on track. We knew this was the right place to go. It absolutely was the right decision, the best decision that we could have personally made, Corbin and I. So we want to thank you. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. This just gives all of you just a glimpse into a little bit of Kim Lee. Now you can see why she's had the success, why she's been able to help the amount of people she's been able to help.
Yeah, thank you so much. Your time is valued. I know how precious it is right now as you're doing so much for so many. So thank you.
Okay, Corbin, I want to answer that question. You asked me okay, now, so this is what we wanted to do, but there's also goals, right? Sorry, I kind of omitted that. I want to make that up. Okay, so first thing first. The first thing I wanted to do is I want to create the class one. I want, like, with different graduation, you know how, in school, year of 82 or year, whatever school year, right? So I want to create, as phase one, to create 1,000 7-star directors.
We're
Now,
writing them down.
1,000 7-star directors. Based on our experience, 7-star director, when you build it right. Now, there's no guarantee of income in any form, shape, or way. But I want to say this, based on experience, 7-star directors, when you build it right, when you consistently become a 7-star director, that's a 7-figure earner. So phase one, 1,000. And I know that, the team that we have built in the past, collectively, we did $10 billion in 13 years. I believe we can do it I believe we can do $10 billion in 5 years or less.
Let's go.
So with you guys, with your help, with your leadership, that came along with you guys was rock and roll. Not only we're going to change lives, we're called to rise up. We are called to look up. We're all called to look up and rise up and live our dream on this earth. And so with your help, with your leadership, what we're doing is not only here in America. We want to create this movement that's global, changing lives globally, touching life globally, and connecting lives globally. So thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to meeting your team someday soon in person.
Awesome. Thank you very much, and have a blessed trip to Asia. Be safe, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here. So guys,
Everyone that's on here, it is recorded, so we'll get that out.
Yes, and we appreciate everybody hopping on. I know a lot of you were on Dr. Dan Gubler's.
Yeah, so that was Holly and Corbin Rouse, Kim Hui, and there's a shift into a season of change in the network marketing space. A lot of fabulous things are happening, folks. Exciting times here at 3 Wellness. And just going to go through a couple slides. Sorry to say, welcome to the entrepreneurial movement. Welcome to 3. Yeah, we got some exciting times, and my name's Ed Drost. You saw Holly and Corbin. I'm part of their group, part of Kim Hui's group. She's our fearless leader and just an exceptional lady. Her vision, she's spiritual. She's got a beautiful vision, and we're doing some great things here. And as I said, I'm trying to get a couple slides rolling here, folks, but not doing too well, I don't think. Here we go. Yes, we are almost there. But yeah, so Kim and Holly, and we have Amy Dunlap, we have Christine Peterson, several other partners. I'm Wes Wyatt, Steve Reeker. We have a lot of beautiful people doing a lot of beautiful things here at 3. And so anyway, we're doing some great things. Look, I want you to catch the wave of success in 2024. I'd love for you to join me, Ed Drost. We're building a fabulous team. We got everything in place. We got systems in place. We're doing a lot of creative things here. We're doing things. We got people doing home parties. We're doing regional events. We're going to be doing a national event in August. We're doing a virtual event coming up this February. So exciting times here. So I'd love for you to join me, Ed Drost. Let's connect. Ed Drost, you can you can text me at 443-904-5229. You can email me, eddrost@gmail.com. I'm in Parkton, Maryland. You can go to temovement.com. I'd love for you to be part of the entrepreneurial movement. I'd love for you to catch the wave, be part of 3, be part of our global wellness movement. You know, like Kim said, when you step into your future, exciting things happen. So here we are, January 1st. Step into your future. Take a look at where you are, where you want to be this year. I did it last year in February. I was at a point where I knew my health. I had to make some changes in my health. I wanted to go in a different direction. I'm an appraiser. I've been doing appraisals in Baltimore for 34 years. But I love the network marketing space. I love the opportunity of not having a linear income where you can work with other people. So exciting times, having a blast. Best thing I've done. I stepped in my future. It's the magic of stepping into the unknown. Synchronicity, beautiful people come into your life. So we're growing a business. If you want to become physically well, financially well, and spiritually well, we have a beautiful team here. Again, Ed Drost, look forward to connecting. Love for you to join me. As I said, we got some places here. I'm on all Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. So let's connect. Let's have some fun. Let's do something special. Let's build a movement. Again, Ed Drost, look forward to connecting.